Well, he was hauled into police custody just as a cauldron of flames engulfed the seat of the legislature. 49-year-old Zandile Christmas Mafe has become the face of a blaze that has opened up a can of worms. The destruction of the National Assembly is one of the most painful moments under democratic South Africa. But just what do we know about the arrest of the suspect who stands accused of burning down the house, literally? Well, standing by is Mafe's lawyer, Luvuyo Godla. Luvuyo, thank you so much for joining us. Luvuyo, what do we know about the suspect? Is he in fact a homeless man who sleeps outside of Parliament?
Thanks, Annika, for having me. Mr. Mafe is not a homeless person. He is originally from Mahikeng, from a village called Lonely Park. And he has been in Western Cape for a considerable period of time. He first resided in Langa in Washington. And he is currently now residing in Side B in Q section, Khayelitsha.
Okay, there were photos of him leaked on social media where he seemed to be sort of sitting or napping or lying outside those gates of Parliament, which is why I ask you. Something that perplexes me is how sure is the prosecuting authority and parliamentary authorities that Mafe was indeed responsible for this fire? I mean, have you seen the CCTV footage of him inside Parliament? Have you asked him whether he had any matches? Is there any evidence that you know of so far that places him directly at the scene of the crime and responsible for arson?
Annika, I want to go in depth to some of the questions which deal with the merits of the case. But what I can say for now is that we do not know. We are still as well interested to see those video footages. And even if he might have been seen on a number of occasions napping around National Assembly, but obviously he is not homeless. He has got a place to reside in Side B, as I've already indicated. With respect to the strength of the state case, I really do not know. But one wonders, firstly, why would the state come and press charges against him of 2 counts of arson, when in fact we know that there is only one transaction, which is the burning of Parliament and one place, and now we do not know why 2 counts of arson. It suggests that they are talking about different transactions, which we do not have that information. And one would say it leaves a lot to be desired, because what interest would he have to travel all the way from Khayelitsha and come to National Assembly and burn Parliament? One would assume that the least he could have done if he had that intent of committing a crime would be to go to a place where he would secure a financial gain and feed his desire, because he's an unemployed person, instead of traveling and going to a heavily armed place, knowing that there is and there will forever be security personnel.
Luvuyo,
so I don't know why.
Sorry, Luvuyo.
Okay,
there have been, I mean, the conspiracy theories are all over social media, so, you know, we don't want to give them too much credence, but there has been a suggestion that perhaps this indigent man, a man who doesn't have much money, has been paid to take the fall, to take the spotlight off parliamentary managers whose job it is to protect a national key point.
Yeah, definitely. All of us, we are in that realm of speculations for now, because we do not know what actually happened. And obvious with respect to where was he apprehended, I won't go, because it goes to direct to merits of the case. But clearly, Annika, one, and it does not need one with legal background to interrogate this, because one would ask, this gentleman, what gain would he get for going to Parliament? How did he know that at that particular minute there won't be a security cluster members? For example, Annika, when you go enter the Parliament, the precinct of Parliament, you get SAPS members who are guarding against any entrance, be it a snake. They would be able to detect even a snake creeping under the gates. And it's 24/7. And when you go inside the building of Parliament, you get what is called the Parliamentary Security Services. And if you go inside the National Assembly, it's fitted with sophisticated equipment, such as cameras, there are smoke detectors, there are sprinklers, all properly coordinated to respond to the call of each other. And this particular person on this particular day, at that particular minute, how did he know that there are no security officers, SAPS, who are guarding the precinct of Parliament? And how did he know that at that particular minute there won't be parliamentary security officers inside, protection services inside? And mind you, the Parliament security appraisals are conducted on regular basis. Surely it would mean that this particular chap must have been advised of where the sprinklers could be regulated so that he can switch them off and deactivate the alarm. It does not need an expert to formulate his or her mind that, look, this is just a scapegoat. There is no way that this man would be in possession of such crucial information. And above all, knowing that looking at this massive village called the Parliament with many buildings, but he elected to go to a particular building, and in that particular building, to a particular floor where crucial information is housed. There is no way. My submission is, this is a scapegoat.
I have to disagree with you on one aspect, which I don't think your client could possibly have known about, but there was an email that we've seen where it was suggested that patrols by security should be reduced, quite substantially over public holidays and weekends. So the fact of somebody being able to get in probably wasn't that difficult, but that's a separate issue. Does your client appear to you to have, the ANC is calling this an attack on the state, does your client appear to you to have any major grudge against government, parliament, the constitution, the country as a whole?
For now, Annika, one would say absolutely no, and big no. No, there is no way. And moreover, let me just paint you a picture. Maybe you have not met him personally. Mr. Mafe is not in possession of a cell phone. Even if he would have been in possession of a cell phone, Mr. Mafe would not have been able to have access to internet and be able to get such crucial information. It's clearly there is no way, and he does not have any grudges, just an ordinary South African like any other person. Surely someone who has got a direct interest to that particular information is the one who is behind this, not this poor soul. He is not, by no chance, he can't be the one who did that act.
Luvuyo, quick last question. Are you convinced that he was actually found in the precinct?
Annika, I won't go that one. It takes us straight to the merits of the case. But however, despite that, even if one is to be found in that area, we don't know at what time. Remember here, these are two different parties. The state, they wanted to prove their case, and they can do whatever is possible. Remember, it would have been a disgrace for the police not to arrest anyone. So they would take that gentleman, and I do not deny that he was not there at any particular minute, but not at the time of a scene. But subsequent to that, I don't know. It's something which I will still get from him, but I don't want to venture into it now because it goes to merits of the case. But that does not make him the perpetrator, even if he was within a certain proximity of that national key point. But still, he is not the one. He does not have interest, does not have ability, even courage. That person can't make entry into parliament.
All right. One quick last question. What was his demeanor like, Luvuyo, when you got to him in the cells? He seemed quite confused yesterday and possibly overwhelmed by what was actually happening. How did he appear to you?
Firstly, when I consulted with him, he was calm and composed, and obvious. You would understand anyone facing criminal charges would be nervous. It will depend on an individual how to control and conduct himself or herself. But however, specifically when we went to the magistrate to discuss, because there were applications brought by members of the media to come and take photos during the proceedings. So I went down to him and I advised him that, look, you might find the court packed up with members of the media and other members of the public. He looked nervous about that, but surely when he came up, because it's not what I expected as well, being an attorney for many years, to see what I saw yesterday, a court packed up in that capacity would make one nervous. So I would admit that he was a little bit nervous when he came up, getting members of the public and media packed up in court. But he is composed, he's fine now.